Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Yopper, what's up, young sir? Good to see you. How you doing today? Getting ready? All right. Getting ready for what? What you up to? Yeah, let me know what you're getting ready for. I'll tell you what I'm getting ready for. I'm getting ready for some gaming. So today, I brought some news articles to share with the class. All right. So today, quick rundown on the news articles that I want to talk about. We've got AI can predict which criminals may break laws again better than humans. It's a little scary, using AI to predict who's going to break laws. We'll read that article a little bit later. This is one I'm personally interested in, and I'll explain why so it doesn't sound too creepy, but this headline, turning human bodies into compost works, small trial suggests. Turning human bodies into compost works. And then later, I want to talk about survivorship bias. We'll talk about cognitive bias that can cause a lot of people to fall prey to scams or mystical nonsense. So, Yopper, tell me, how are you? What are you getting ready for? What's going on? Yeah, making a Roblox game. Fun. I've never played any Roblox. It definitely came a little bit late for me to fit. It's a dumb one. Sometimes you need a dumb game, though. I like a dumb game every now and again. You know? Oops, did I get limpets? No. Can't believe I forgot limpets. It's alright, actually, I need to head back to the bubble. I will leave my anti-Xeno crate here and get my happy butt back to the bubble. And then while we're traveling, I'll bring up a couple of those little science stories here. Oops, 20 is right by the gate. So, Yopper, remind me, did you say you lived in Siberia? Was that you? If I recall. Because that's a big place. Siberia. Not Sib. Oh, in the UK. I was thinking of somebody else. Sorry about that, Yupper. Mixing you up with somebody. Somebody came in the early in my stream times, and they were from Siberia, and I was like, wow. Wow. That is a long way to go for the signal. Alright, I'm getting some information now about a promotion that Down to Earth Astronomy is doing. Cool, I got this thing from Down to Earth Astronomy going on. I'll need to watch this video when I have a minute, because I am curious. If it involves me editing and producing a video, that's definitely something I'm capable of, but it just takes me a long time to do that. So I don't know what the deadline is for this. Again, I'll watch this video, get some more info. Yep. Good morning, Nomad. Good to see you. I raise my coffee to you. We got some news stories today, some science news. Right off the bat, the first science headline is a scary one. I don't know if you ever saw Minority Report, but this headline says AI can predict which criminals may break laws again better than humans. So this isn't totally pre-crime, but it is using, they used AI to test against humans' predictions about criminal recidivism. So they gave people a list of people, descriptors with the crimes they went in for, and asked them to predict whether they're going to commit crimes again. And then they asked the AI the same question with the same data set. The experiment involved two sets. So in one data set, the humans were given extra information about the criminals, and in the other, the AI was given extra information about the criminals. However, the AI performed better, consistently, and exceedingly better when it was given the extra information rather than the humans, which is to be expected. But yeah, I just saw that headline and I immediately thought of Minority Report and pre-crime, using AIs to determine who is going to commit what crime when. It's a scary thought. A scary thought indeed. Boy, my squad mate Nundin wants to hit every single region. Pre-Horizons. Oh yeah, I love Futurama. That's our bedtime show for years. Which episode of Futurama? I'm trying to remember if they had when they did pre-crime. They did a pretty much Minority Report ripoff, didn't they? With like guys floating in water and predicting the future. I don't recall exactly. There's so many episodes of Futurama. robot in the water predicting crime. Yeah, yeah. That's right. My wife and I were just talking about how time travel works in the Futurama universe, and how it's very nice. We were comparing it against. We both love time travel stories, so we were comparing it against some of the other movies, like in Harry Potter and whatever the third movie is. I think whenever Hermione has the time turner and she can travel through time. I know some people complain about that as far as just a time travel mechanic, but it is well done. It's very tight. They put a bow on it. Everything that happens in this first part of the story happens because in the second part of the story they're traveling through time and fixing all the things. So it all kind of works out in the end. It is a closed loop, you know. They are destined to go back in time and do what they do, because if they don't, then they won't make it to the future to go back in time to do it. It has to happen. I thought that was pretty well done, because that also suggests in the Harry Potter universe there is only one universe and there is only one timeline. So if you go back in time, you're not creating a branching sub-universe that then, you know, the events of which, the cause and effect of which is now independent from Universe A. You're actually irrevocably altering the course of Universe A. Makes me a little uncomfortable, though, because with that kind of universe, don't you just have pure determinism? Isn't free will pre-written, then? How couldn't it be? If future me has gone traveling through time, I'm not in charge of my life. Future me is in charge of my life. Future me is making the choices for me now in the past, even though future me doesn't exist yet. That's how we know time travel, at least in that method of time travel, isn't real, because we'd have time travelers everywhere. Time tourists. Now, neurologically, psychologically, there is evidence that free will is not real. Neurologists threw a frag grenade into the world of academic philosophy. I forget when, sometime in the mid 20th century, they did some interesting experiments that showed that free will is actually a bit of an illusion. Now, I'm not smart enough to really explain all that. If I recall, the experiment went something like, they had a subject, electrodes in his brain so they could measure the activity, and basically what would happen is instructions would appear on a screen, like lift your left index finger, make a fist with your right hand, touch your nose. Basic motor commands. So the motor neuron part of your brain is actually pretty well mapped. It's one of the more well understood parts of your brain, is that motor reflex. So they paid attention to the motor reflex, and they paid attention to, I forget what, again, not a neurologist, but there's a part of your brain that is the executive function. It decides, okay, you know, like you've rated instructions, do the thing. It's the part of your brain that you use when you consciously think, raise my right finger, or raise my middle finger. Like, there's a part of my brain that's making a decision to activate the motor neurons, the nerves in my arm, raise this thing up and make a rude gesture. That is a conscious decision that I make of my own free will. So what they found, by paying close attention to what's happening inside of the subject's brain when they receive these instructions, it would seem that the part of your brain that is the one making the executive decision to do the thing is actually just taking its orders from a different part of your brain that is responding on reflex. Now, there's more nuance to this that makes it a lot more clear why free will is maybe not as strong as we thought it was, but essentially there's the part of your brain that you feel like, know, when you're in there, you feel in control of your body. You're exercising your free will. That part of your brain is not independent. It is itself taking orders from another part of your brain. I suppose that shouldn't be too surprising. Our brains are incredibly complex and self-contained machines. So I figure everything is linked to everything else. Every synapse is a subset of another one. Give a dog a bone. What up, gaming anomaly? Alright, let me get in dock, and then I'll hop up and do a little doggy treat for you. I think he's being a lazy dog. It's morning time here, so he's been out. He's had his morning wee, and now he's scurried back to bed, but he'll get up. He'll wake up for these bad boys here. What's up, Anomaly? Good to see you, dude. I'm doing pretty well. Just woke up. About to move on to my second cup of coffee here. And we're talking about science. How are you doing, dude? What's new? What are you up to? We got Yopper over here working on a Roblox level. I don't know what Nomad's doing. Probably crime. Pilots Federation reputation change. Why was I not an ally to the Pilots? Whatever. Ooh, I like science. Not too much. Just got my new GPU. So sitting at work, bored. Capital B, bored. If you've got a new GPU at home and you're sitting at work, boredom is about the only option available to you. So I'm sorry, I feel for you, Anomaly. It's just sitting there at home, just being all pretty. Oh, hang on a second. I hear a ruckus. 1 second. Alright, Anomaly, you ready? This one's for you, buddy. Parm, There's your giving a dog a bone. He knows all kinds of tricks. A little later, if we do more, I'll have him jump through the hoop for you. He loves the hoops. I'm gonna need to start teaching him some new tricks, though. If otherwise, the audience is gonna start getting a little bored. Can't have that. So yeah, Anomaly. The story that we were just discussing was that AI has demonstrated that it is better at predicting which criminals will repeat crimes than humans. So it's not 100% precogs and pre-crime, but it's kind of similar. Using AI to determine prisoners or, convicts' recidivism rate is interesting to say the least. Now, apparently this is actually a tool that's already in use, according to the article. Let me find it. Risk assessment algorithms that forecast future crimes are often used by judges and parole boards to decide who stays behind bars. But these systems have come under fire for exhibiting racial biases, and some research has given reason to doubt that algorithms are better at predicting arrests than humans are. So, I mean, obviously there's a problem. Why are computers racist? I mean, it is funny, that's something that they ran into when Microsoft was rolling out some webcams or something for the Face ID, the early facial recognition screen unlocks for Windows 10. Couldn't see black people. And so, a black guy would buy this laptop and be like, oh, great, I want to use these new features, and the camera would not be able to see him. Yeah, AI, advancements in AI are incredible. Incredible progress has been made. Um, we are still a very, 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 very long way away from having any kind of general AI. We're not going to have AGI. We're not going to have Skynet. Right now, AI exists as very special, tailor-made subroutines. They're essentially very smart scripts, if you want to think of it that way. Message entrant. I don't have anything to do here. Yeah, they learn to adapt. Now with machine learning, and if we start to develop things that can kind of edit their own code, we'll be in an entirely different paradigm. But for now, our AI are still quite limited. Trying to decide among my squad mates what we're going to do for this mining trip. I gotta decide if I want to bring out my puny python. It's got 192 tons of storage, or 200 tons of storage, including. So yeah, let me get back to that AI article because it is kind of interesting. So I'll tell you about the experiment that they did so you can better. Oh. Oh, hello, Nomad. That's gotta be Nomad. Yeah, that's Nomad. I know that green fed anywhere. Alright, you guys ready for some meat? You ready for a beefy info chunk? Yeah, Nomad, you know how to just get a cameo on the stream. You know how to do it. Just get in there. Ooh, GG. No, don't you dare tear that up. My kitty was about to scratch up my daughter's new thing, like picture frame she got. Anyway, so computational social scientist Sharad Goel of Stanford and colleagues started by mimicking the setup of the 2018 study. Online volunteers read short descriptions of 50 criminals, including features like sex, age, and number of past arrests, and they guessed whether each person was likely to be arrested for another crime within 2 years. After each round, volunteers were told whether they guessed correctly. As seen in the 2018 version of this experiment, people rivaled the AI's performance. They were accurate about 65% of the time. I'm reading all this boring stuff to you because it's important when you see articles that say, new study has shown X, or a scientist baffled about Y. It's usually not true. Science journalism in today's market is a joke for the most part. You see absolute sensationalized, often fictionalized, editorialized headlines which don't match the content of the article. What up, Muffin? Good morning, girl. Good to see you. We're discussing scientific rigor while I decide what to do with my Python. Not that Python, Muffin. So we now know. First, they mimicked the 2018. Oh yeah, I'm on. Some mornings it's a Monday morning, but it is the President's Day here in the United States of America, and so that means that nobody works. Banks are closed. I think technically it is Washington's birthday, Lincoln's birthday, one of those guys' birthdays, and then they just made it President's Day. Which, hey, I'm here for it. I'm alright with it. I was going to go to the Jelly Belly factory, but they closed. Anyway, we're talking science. It's important to get in there and actually, if you're able to, unpack what they've done, what the experiment actually says, then why am I hostile here? You see this? Oh, because I'm in Hudson space and I pledged to Duvall. It's alright, I just have to deal with that for a month. Actually, I'm not sure if I want to go there yet. Oh yeah, you see they approved my emotes. Yay! Muffin, it was crazy. Not last night. I didn't stream last night, but the night before, had an amazing, amazing stream. Got rated. It was super cool. All right, that's 2 for you, Muffin. That's 2. I'm keeping track. If we get a couple more of those from the viewers this morning, I'll do a set for sure. There we go. Rack them up. That's 3, 4, 5. I think I put a limit at 20, but that's quite alright. Dude, my cat is behind me playing with the door, and it keeps fucking me up because I hear the door opening and closing, and it's like, bruh. Bruh. The coffee's getting to me, getting warm. So anyways, the long story, I don't actually want to get in there and read you all the nitty-gritty details of the study. My point is you should do that when you come across articles that say, this study shows this amazing thing that probably doesn't sound real, knowing articles. Wait, if I don't have a cat, then... Oh, little baby mountain lion. Little baby mountain lion. Alright, I want to talk about this thing. This is something that's actually a subject that is personal to me, and I have been talking about this kind of thing for at least 15 years. So, personal info on me. I've always been interested in subjects that some people may find uncomfortable, things like death, burial, anything macabre, murders, cult leaders, the occult. These things I've loved studying and learning about this. And so years and years and years ago, I remember talking with a friend about what we want done with our bodies when we die. And he had some crazy Hunter S. Thompson idea, stuff me in a cannon, shoot me into space, whatever. Sincerely, what I want done with my body is I want to be, when I die, I would like to be stripped naked and chucked into a hole in the earth. No embalming, no makeup, don't dress me up. Throw me into the dirt, cover me up, and then plant a tree over my body. A fruit-bearing tree, I think, is poetic, right? Let the worms eat me. Let the microbes break me down. Let me return to the earth in the most complete way possible. The only complete way that is possible. Muffin, I remember learning about this. I got excited when I saw the headline because I thought someone stole my idea. But the issue with the tree burial method, if I recall, unless you're talking about something else, but they cremate you, and then they put your ashes into a little you know, a compostable urn with the sapling on it. I find that abhorrent. Cremation is a tremendous waste. It's a terrible waste. Our bodies are unimaginably powerful, batteries. We're energetic objects. We have so much chemical energy stored in the magnesium, in the phosphorus, in the sulfates, and just every bit of our body is extremely valuable chemically and energetically, thermodynamically to the Earth system. And I think it is a shame when we cremate our loved ones. Yes, it can be nice to have that urn on the shelf. I've got a necklace made from the cremated ashes of my older brother. When he passed, he was cremated, and I didn't know this, but they make jewelry. You can make jewelry, very lovely, lovely pieces of silver jewelry out of... Test 1, 2? I see output. Let me get my feedback here. Okay. Unmute your device, Muffin. Darn. Well, my point is that we waste so much. Even our own corpses, we can't help but find a way to render them useless by stuffing them full of formaldehyde and chemicals, and then putting them in a pine box, and then sealing that pine box, and then burying that, and hoping that nothing ever touches that corpse. I mean, it's a waste. It's a terrible waste. When you look at what the rest of life on Earth does, and how it works, and how it's tied into the same system, we've removed ourselves from that system, I think that's a crime. So when I go, like I said, don't do anything to my body except take the clothes off of it and chuck me in a hole, and then plant a tree. Plant a tree over my body. Muffin, I was saying that if what I think you're talking about is what I think you're talking about, then they still cremate your body. They still cremate you and then put your ashes in there. Ash is the most chemically inert substance available. Yes, please send me a link. I just think ash is of no use. I mean, sure, it adds a bit of nitrogen. It can replenish soil nutrition, but it's not food for the microbes. It's not food for the earth. Capsula mundi. Biodegradable burial pod turns your body into a tree. That looks big enough to actually hold your body. Because the ones I saw were tiny little things where they put your ashes in it. And I'm like, fuck that. This is exactly right. The world's capsule, an egg-shaped organic capsule that's suitable for ashes too. Okay. I mean, imagine having funereal groves instead of these vast fields of sterile white headstones. A funereal grove. You can go to your family's tree ring, right? There's Grandpa's oak, Grandma's apple, Uncle's pear tree, great-great-grandma's willow. Whatever it is, whatever tree you find embodies, I think there could be special meaning to having a fruit-bearing tree planted over your remains, because then it's like the stuff of your existence is in that fruit. Doesn't it sound pleasant? Muffin, that chair was Grandpa. We built this house from the trees of our ancestors. Why not? Why not? Once Grandpa's tree has reached 200 years old, it's about to fall over, fell that sucker, chop that wood, make some furniture out of Grandpa. Grandpa's matter is now in that tree. Grandpa's in that tree. The atoms that made Grandpa's body were consumed by the soil culture, those nutrients were then absorbed by the roots and incorporated into the wood of the tree. I mean, it sounds wonderful. Hang on, I gotta get my cat out of this back area. He's being a menace. 1 minute. Yeah, yeah, it does sound nice. I'd very much like to see that um, change. It is such a terrible waste for us to embalm all of these corpses. And I mean, it just seems awful. Stuff them full of formaldehyde, paint their faces with makeup so they resemble life as closely as possible. Honestly, I find it kind of repulsive. The Earth is a closed system and a death world, and everything on life is predicated on the consumption and decay of everything that came before it. And I do think it's a shame that we feel compelled to remove ourselves from that entire system. It just doesn't seem right. Thanks for the link on that, Muffin. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's a little more elegant than my solution, which is literally throw my naked corpse in an open ditch. I mean, I will switch it back when I'm ready, Muffin. Yeah, I finally pledged to Aislinn Duval so that I know who to call, Muffin. I know who to call when we need that. Special service. I appreciate you. I need to get Imperial hammers for my PvP ship because I'm gonna build one. So I've got a good PvP ship. It's gonna be a spicy boy with thermal conduits on my PAs. So that'll be fun. I'm gonna ship my Python out. A special service. Someday, I would love that, Muffin. It will be a day that's somewhat far away because I've got a bunch of shit to do. But yeah, when I have this PvP ship fully built, I'll be really excited because then I can go out and respond to gankers and griefers, and I can participate in some fun community events by having a PvP ship. Okay, so this is interesting. On the article you sent me, Muffin, they were talking just about some of the reasons why this is a good idea, and it's not just for the poetry of it, of being buried with a tree, but that we have a lot of issues with waste and formaldehyde. There are problems with just waste. You know, mercury from dental fillings, the carbon gassing from formaldehyde in the earth. Like, I get it. It sucks. It's stupid. Let trees eat. I want roots to mingle with my bones. I want plants to slowly pull my bones apart after I've been disarticulated. Why do we keep exactly? Why the fuck? Because we have problems with death. I think that there's certain things that we never grew out of as a people. And having superstitious and frankly useless emotions about our loved ones' bodies after they've left them. I think that's a part of it. I mean, unless you can think of some amazingly good use for a corpse. But I'd say Soylent Green doesn't sound too good. I don't want it. Let's see here. I'm gonna need a second cup of coffee here in a minute. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now, I owe y'all 6 push-ups. You can do better than that. Did you see that? That was weird. 7, 8. I know you got like 30,000 points, Nomad. 9, 10. There's a full set. Oh boy. 11, 12, 13. 13. Alright, that's 13. 14. Alright, you're gonna go to 20. 15. 16. 17. 18. You just tell me when it stops you. I'm pretty sure 20. Please stop at 20. If it doesn't, I don't know if it's... No, 21. 22. 23. Jesus. 24. 25. Alright, 26. I gotta go to the gym later today. $26? Is that where we... I think 26 is where we did it. I did set... Maybe I set the limit at 40. Because I figure, like, if I'm doing a 3-hour stream, and if it's in popular demand enough, I could do 2 sets of 20. But maybe 20's good. Because I also gotta keep in mind my other plans for the day. Alright, let me dock at Akiyama Hub here, and then I'll do those push-ups. Because I owe you guys. So I was thinking about doing some fun segments in the stream. What would you guys think if I did a thing where every so often I might stop playing the game, cut over to a Skype call with a nerdy friend of mine to talk about something nerdy? We could do Warhammer 40k lore, where we could talk about professional wrestling, or we could talk about, you know, I've got a lot of nerdy friends with a lot of nerdy interests, and so we could broach a lot of topics. And I think it'd be fun to bring in some other faces. Yeah, more nerds are fun. That's right. Muffin. You know what's up. Cool. I don't have anything in the works just yet. Oh yeah, damn it. Later today I need to make the time to actually work on the Discord a little bit. I'm not sure what to... Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just make the basic roles and keep it simple and see, as people come, what they want in the Discord, and then I can fill it out from there. That way you guys can be kind of a part of building it. Because I'm making it so that we can all have a place we can enjoy there and post shit that is relevant or not relevant to the stream. I think it'd be fun to have a science channel, so as you guys go about your daily lives, if you come across some science story you want to hear me ranting about, you can link it in the thing. Oh yeah. No, trust me, I helped. When I first formed my squadron, I built the first iteration of our Discord server for that. And it immediately got crazy. And then we merged with Gilgamesh Core, and we made an even bigger, more complicated Discord. And it's crazy. There's a lot to it. Yeet. What up, Lex? Good to see you. Alright, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to ship my mining python out here, because it's really good for core mining, and then I'm going to go to Shinra, and we're going to build an anaconda for mining. And what I'll probably actually do is just pull my engineered modules from my PvE anaconda, because I barely use it anymore. And I certainly won't be using it while we're mining. How you doing this morning, Lex? What up? Search and rescue type 7. Nice. Oh my god, this cat. My kitten is being a maniac. Sleepy. We were just talking about growing trees with corpses. He is a little terrorizer. He's a crazy cat, though. Who here has heard of or knows about survivorship bias? Lex, you bloodthirsty monster, she's still asleep. So you're gonna have to wait on that one. But I put you down for an IOU. Once I dock, I owe these people some push-ups. And then when I come back, we're going to talk about survivorship bias. Nerf her in bed for 1,201 points. I mean, that's like a cheer reward. I'll do that for money. Because now we're talking about my marriage. Matt. What up, Matt Dork? The Air Force kept wondering why No! I didn't even mean it that way when I said it. Because I usually, you hear someone say like smart. Smart. I put O's in words sometimes, and then I realized as soon as I said it, that it was mean. Alright. Here you go, everybody. Nomad, Muffin, Smart. Right. That is smart. Alright, guys. Fuck. Ah! Hang on.
With regret, we must inform pilots that unauthorized docking bay access is unacceptable and will dictate an appropriate response. Pilots are respectfully asked to alight at their own docking pad only and avoid obstructing access to other docking bay areas.
Alright, anyway, let's see here. Oh, Matt, you got accepted into college. Good job, dude. Congratulations. So Lexington, you're talking about the example of the survivorship bias using the Nazi planes. Actually, that's actually very good. A very good example of it, where you have, they looked at where the holes were in the planes and said, we need to reinforce those parts, and then some smart guy was like, no, we need to reinforce the places where the holes aren't, because those planes aren't making it back. Yeah, very, very good. But now first, let me do some push-ups for y'all. Now it's a fitness stream. We fitness streaming now. I'm doing this on 1 cup of coffee and no breakfast, so fuck you. Oh no, did I do a swear?
This facility operates under imperial jurisdiction, where excellence is the standard. Pilots are respectfully asked to
Alright, that was 26.
Docking pad only. And avoid obstructing access to other docking bay areas.
Don't talk about my fitness, D word. Yup. 26 is a little above my limit. Oh wait, someone threw 3 more in there? We'll just add those to the next set, Matt.
It is with pleasure we are able to inform pilots that Imperial security is operational at this facility, ensuring safety and decorum for residents and guests.
Oh boy. I'm too winded from that. It's just first thing in the morning. All I've had is coffee. I haven't done anything productive yet today. Muff. Take a hot shower. Cold showers aren't worth it. You need the hot shower.
Welcome to our starport and the warm embrace of Imperial service.
Yo.
We are pleased to offer a wide range of facilities of unparalleled.
What up, Lex? How do you find the Thargoid probes? There's a couple places you can do that. You can go searching non-human signal sources, and they've got like a very low drop rate. The other way you can do it is to go to these crashed Thargoid sites that are located throughout the region. Let's see. Oh, God. Muffin. Those dirty goids. Let me see if I can find exactly where you can find those probes. Yeah, for the grid resistors, Matt. Yeah, high-grade emissions. So HGEs are high-grade emissions. They are signal sources that you can find in any well-populated space that's in a boom state. So I would filter systems in your gal map by high pop and then faction state to boom. You'll find high-grade emission sites. You fly out to those, you'll scan a data beacon, and you'll pick up some grade 5 or grade 4 encoded data or manufactured data. What up, Lolo? Good to see you, my friend. You just missed it. These bastards just made me do a bunch of push-ups because some idiot told them that would be a good idea. Still breathing heavily, I know. I consume recreational drugs using my lungs. I'm perfectly calm. So calm. See? I just lowered my heart rate. Alrighty, so we're gonna go... Now we gotta go back, because I gotta pick up my Anaconda. I gotta take it to Shinra. I gotta rebuild it for mining. Someone's trying to snipe you. What are you playing? Yes, I do believe Lex is right. You can find resistors at Dav's Hope. You can also kill tourist ships outside of stations in Anarchy systems, which I find is a nice change of scenery if you've been driving the loop at Dav's Hope for a long time. So take a look at my stream here. So you go to Gal Map. Then you go here to the 4th tab. Hey. Nice, Nomad. Thanks for doing a gift. I don't know why you're subscribing to somebody who's so bad at streaming. So look, here in the Gal Map, go to the 4th tab. And then make sure you're on the map setting. Then here, you go to state. And then you're going to uncheck everything except for boom. Because the boom state has all the good stuff. So remove all the others. So now we're just looking at boom. Now down here on the population slider, you can raise the minimum pop a little bit so that you don't get any systems with like less than 1 million people, because those won't be quite as good. So now you can look around where you are, and you'll only see the stars that are in boom and have a sufficient population. Looks like we're still seeing sub-million pop systems, so we'll raise that 1 or 2 ticks. So now only the largest. So Saksak, 15.8 million, and it's in boom, so you'll find lots of HGEs there. So just fly around in Super Cruise and do that. Lex, yeah, I got a lot of bookmarks. I'm gonna go to Shinra now. Well, I'm gonna go pick up my Annie, take it to Shinra, and then I'll kit it out for mining. That's the plan. Yeah, that'd be cool. There's a couple things I wish I'd be able to do. Nomad! Dude, you are just like a generous, loving, kind soul. What a kind man. Oh, okay, so in the spirit of that, let me pull up a new Stream Science article. Oh, wait, Matt, what do you mean? What are you supposed to do? I see. Still. Oh, yeah. So, Matt, once you've filtered your gal map to where you can only see those boom systems, fly into them, and then you use your FSS to get a read on all of the system signals, or you can go and fly into the nav beacon, scan the nav beacon. Now your nav computer has all of the information. Jump back up to Super Cruise and scroll through your nav icons until you find high-grade emissions. And then fly out to those high-grade emissions, jump into the instance, and do whatever you need to do there. You'll either collect some manufactured stuff, or you'll scan a data beacon. But the high-grade emissions are the site. I think it's actually only collecting manufactured materials there. So, I mean, that's all you got to do. There is no HGEs. If there are none, then you'll want to go to the next boom system. They're not guaranteed to have HGEs, but they are likely to in the boom systems. So get a load of this headline. I'll wait for Amelie to finish. Okay, listen to Muffin. Go to Chernobog. Go to Chernobog for your materials. Artificial atoms create stable qubits. Australian research, an important step in quest for silicon quantum computer. Nomad. Yo. Dude, you are amazing. Thanks for hooking everybody up, man. What a fucking star. What a star. I gotta set up some kind of reward for that too, right? I think Nomad likes being a sugar daddy. I like having a sugar daddy, so hey. As long as he doesn't make me work too hard for it. Damn, number 4. 4 gifts. dang, dude. So I know that there's some kind of rewards and stuff. Like I can set up Nomad as some kind of SAR. He gets some prestige for this, which is supposed to motivate other people to try to beat him. Yeah, I think that's everyone watching right now. I had to give you some kind of custom badge. So, yeah, I need to look into this BTTV thing, and there's one other thing that Torkel was telling me to get for the stream. So I'll have to find out. So that way we can have more, we can have even more emotes. BTTV doesn't do that. Killa is here too. What up, Killa? So now I'm gonna go get that anaconda. I'll take it to Shinra, get it kitted up for laser mining, so that way my mining fleet is fully ready. Yeah, BTTV does emotes. That's what I thought. So I'll look at that. So, survivorship bias. Lex gave the example of the warplanes coming back, riddled with bullets, and the mechanics they're saying, well, let's reinforce these airplanes where the bullet holes are. And one very smart engineer saying, no, we need to reinforce planes where the bullet holes aren't, because planes that are getting shot in those places are not coming back. Obviously, when planes get shot in these places here, then they're fine. They can still fly. Nomad. Nomad, nomad, nomad. So here's another example of survivorship bias that I really like. Imagine you got a letter in the mail that said, hey, we have a new stock pricing trick, and since I know you don't trust me yet, I want to tell you to look at whatever incorporated tomorrow. It's going to go up. And you say, well, I don't know, but you look at it, and it goes up. So anyone can get lucky. So next week, you get another letter. And this letter says, tomorrow, I want you to look at Johnson Incorporated. It's going to go down. Now you're intrigued, right? You pay attention. You see it goes down. Now you're waiting for the third letter. You're excited for the third letter. The third letter says, if you're interested in having me as your advisor, you should give me a call. I just proved to you two days in a row that I can predict the market. All right? So this is a real scam that happened. Wait, why am I flying down to the world? This is a real scam that happened in the 1920s or 1940s and the 1930s. So basically what you do is you send a bunch of people random guesses. You send random guesses like 10,000 people. Half the time those random guesses are right. So then to that half of the people that your guess was right about, you send them the next day's prediction. And then half of those people get the right answer. So then you grab those half and you send them another random prediction, and half of those people get it right. At the end, you've run through 10,000 people, and you've ended up pulling 5,000 marks, 5,000 individuals who are now suckers and believe that you're able to predict the market reliably every time. As survivorship bias, because you're culling out whatever examples don't survive the narrative that you're trying to set up. Matt, I've got more subs than I've ever had. Don't feel bad, bro. I do have the unfair advantage of leading a squadron. And also, it's probably worth mentioning that I've got a lot of entertainment experience as well, so it certainly doesn't hurt.
Request approved. Cleared for landing on docking bay 30.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. This is gonna kill me. Careful, careful, careful. That was a close one.
Landing successful. Dispatching ground crew. Welcome,
And that
Commander.
was a close one. Shipyard. Yeah, I'm Matt. I can't give too much advice on streaming because again, I'm figuring it all out myself. Um, but I just know that everything that I've read says to stick with it, and just to if it's but also to set a goal and pursue your goal. But I think the important thing is that and I put that in my stream title, Journey Before Destination. Um, if I'm not feeling like I'm going to be able to get in the camera and enjoy myself, I'm not going to do a stream. I don't stream that day. Or if there's more important things too sometimes that you have to do. Yeah, happy and positive is the way. I actually am going to be right BRB too because I also need a cup of coffee. Yeah, Killy, you went to the peduncle tree that they were advertising there? Dude, that is what up, buds? Thanks for the host. Um yeah, I did. I modded you, Nomad. That way that people can actually, if somebody misbehaves, you can handle it, Nomad. Looking at you. Good morning, buds. You guys, your timing's real good. I'm going to run to the kitchen and boil some water and get my second cup of coffee rolling. So I'm going to just be right back. I'm going to give you guys this fun thing to look at, and I'll be right back. Matt, 4. That's right. I'm keeping track. You guys will have me doing 40 push-ups before breakfast every day. Get swole. Um, so, yeah, I saw that Wish You Were Here post from Elite Dangerous on Twitter and on Instagram. Um, and it was just a peduncle tree in space. And I know a lot of people saw that as some kind of hint that there's some special event or something happening. Um, and unfortunately, it turns out that it didn't go that way. Degraded emissions, no. High-grade emissions only. Oh, Paige apologized for it. Paige shouldn't have to apologize for it, because FDev has been putting out those Wish You Were Here. The Wish You Were Here campaign has been going for months. I've seen dozens of old-timey style postcards on Twitter and Instagram showing notable stellar phenomena or peduncle trees or whatever, there's a whole range of these things that they've been demonstrating. Um, so, we've got a lot of people rolling though. Matt, you should listen to Muffin and go to Chernoborg. She says Chernobyl is a good place. Because I could use some high-grade emissions. Yeah, pretty sure it's a system. Let's look it up. I think it was TCHERNOBORG. Nope, that wasn't it. Let me scroll up. It's Chernobog. TCHERNOBOG. Oh, it's really close, too. It's an exploited by Denton Petraeus. It has no state, but go check it out. Chernobog. Like that. Oh lord, it's been a while since I've flown my Annie. Yoinks! 83 light years. No, sir, I got a nice, comfy 2-jump trip to Shinra. I'll knock that out. So last night, my wife and I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I fucking loved that movie. It was so good. My wife used the phrase, I think she described it accurately. She said, it is the Tarantinoest Tarantino that Tarantino'd ever Tarantino'd. Hang on, my water's boiling.
You have cleared the no-fire zone. Have a safe trip, Commander.
Yeah, Killa's got the good links there. edtutorials.com is Exegius's new site. It's a fantastic tool. I'm sorry, it's actually been a minute since I talked it up on my stream, but usually I'll use it for some basic examples and things. It's a phenomenal site, and if we're lucky, Exegius might be joining us on this this mining trip we're doing next weekend. And that'll be cool, because we might make a new video. We might make a little feature to demonstrate some mining tutorials, mining and selling, and, you know, understanding the new market system. So this will be a fun fact-finding mission this coming weekend. Let's see. Oh, I have a message. Alrighty. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this. This is kind of neat. So quantum engineers in Australia, they've created an artificial atom in a silicon substrate, which they say offers improved stability for quantum computing. They add there are parallels to chemistry's periodic table. So, this guy says, quote, what really excites us about our latest research is that artificial atoms with a higher number of electrons turn out to be much more robust qubits than previously thought possible, meaning they can be reliably used for calculations in quantum computers. The qubit for quantum computing is what the bit is to conventional computing. So, way to go, Matt, you made it. What's this? Did I just get a direct message? System chat, interesting. Lots of activity in Shinra today. Let's see if I can make it to Jameson's unmolested. Probably not. Looks like they're all discussing PvP stuff. But that's alright. Another good tip for collecting encoded data is to occasionally just scan ships and supercruise. Every once in a while, you'll get a little piece of data. I'm trying to get my head around this article here. It's pretty interesting. So they made a complex, heavy element in a lab with lots of electrons to serve as a stable qubit. This is almost too sciencey for me to actually explain properly. Oh man, you can't find anything in Chernobog? So go to the nav beacon there and scan that, and all those unidentified signal sources will turn into something or other. There may be multiple HGEs in the system, and so it is most efficient to hit the nav beacon if you can, because then all of the icons light up at the same time, or all of the names become revealed at the same time. Doesn't seem like anybody's going to stop me here, which is quite fine. It's always good to get back to Shinra. Do I have a job? Yes, I do. Actually, streaming is just a little side thing I do sometimes. I'm a system administrator for a medium to large size company, so I manage exchange mail servers, I assist with network security, spam filtering, I run a number of services for production side processes, systems administration, computer science. It's a good career, man. I'll tell you what, automation. Automation is coming for everyone's jobs. And so it's going to be important for certain careers to get behind the machines. I want to be behind the machines. I'll just slide right behind this Annie right here. Who dat? The Rosinante, but with a Z. Oh yeah, he's new to flying an Anaconda. See how low he is? Experienced Annie pilots come in the mail slot on the top. Yeah, scoop everything. You'll be happier if you have a collector limpet. Nomad graduated in April with a networking degree. Awesome. So I was working at a coffee shop when I had my daughter, and for a while I made ends meet, but that certainly wasn't an acceptable income. So I didn't have time to go to a four-year college and get a degree in anything. At that point, I needed money fast. And so I went to a trade school, and I went and got a couple certifications. I got my Network Plus, my A Plus from CompTIA, and I got a couple Microsoft certifications. Oh no, kitty. No, 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 no. You get down from there. He almost did something monumentally stupid, that cat. Monumentally stupid. Gotta keep an eye on this maniac. Okay. Alright, I need to look up a good laser conda. Yeah, having those limpets will definitely be helpful. It'll definitely be helpful. Let's see, ship bills. I'm just looking for a good Annie. I mean, scooping those things manually it's good maneuvering practice, but it is annoying. Let me see. Is this what I think it is? You need to learn maneuvering. It's close enough, Matt. Close enough. Okay. So I guess I need to throw on a bunch of collector limpets. Killa, I've never actually made a large-sized mining vessel. Maybe you can tell me what a good number of collector limpet controllers I'm going to want on this thing. How many mining lasers should I throw on? Because all of my mining builds have been pretty constrained, right? I've made them pythons, asps, and so I haven't had an abundance of hardpoints to select from, or an abundance of module slots at all to speak of. So, I'm interested to know what you think. 4 mediums, 2 top, 2 side. So 4, I don't need to go above 4 though. Yeah, okay, cool. Because I mean, I'll go overkill. I'll put 9 on there. I'll fill every hard point. Yeah, overheating, we don't want to do that. I'm excited to bring out a mining Annie. It's always been the Python for me. So Matt, that means that you will probably be among the first to pay out if you want to participate in the event. Of course, if you take a mining payout, we expect you to build a mining ship and come out for the rest of the event. But that's the way we're setting it up. So the poorest commanders, people who don't even have enough money for a mining ship but want to participate, can come out and get the first payout, fly into the bubble. So yeah, Matt, we'll hook you up with the first round of payouts if you build a mining ship and then come out to help with the second round of payouts. Because first we pay out the poorest, then we pay out those that need to make trade elite. Then we make a second round to see if there's any new billionaires that are almost there. And then we pay out the banks. Is there any reason why you'd want turreted mining lasers? What's this link, Killa? Yeah, bank. There's a bank position. See, optional. 70s. Okay, thank you, Killa. Is the only reason for a turreted mining laser because then you could have somebody in wing that could do it? Because otherwise there's no like functional difference. Yeah, crew mining only. That's what I thought. That's like the only purpose for it. Make sure I'm not missing anything about that. Okay. Matt, in our ship builds channel on the Discord, there's actually quite a few good mining builds that are affordable. But because you stand to pull in a decent payout, you might you might be able to skip some of the lower tiered mining ships and kind of get up to something a little more decent. So. Alright, there's my mining lasers. Now let's do the optionals. It is not everyone for themselves, so the way it's set up is, yeah, actually check the bulletin board post that I made. That kind of outlines what we're doing with it, what the general gist is going to be. I've got so many cargo racks in storage. Maybe I have one here. No, I don't. I've got all these 6E cargo racks, which I'll only need one of. Fine, I'll spend 1,000,000 credits on empty space for my ship. Yeah. Yeah, I typically run my Python for mining just because I enjoy having smaller hauls. I like being able to come back a little faster. Don't write that, Muffin. Muffin. You didn't write it. That's right. Alright, so now we need our collector limpets. I don't think I have any 5e. Yeah, no. The Cobra Miner is quick and easy and cheap. Wouldn't hurt. Yeah, this will be my first time mining in a large ship. I figure since I'm laser mining, a large ship should be fine. Collector. Collector. Gotta get rid of the booster. Sell that scoop. And then we're gonna go up here for this. Six A. That's right, we need a fuel scoop here. 25 million. fish. Is nothing. Alright, so we got the cargo rack, the generator, the fuel scoop, collector limpet. More collector limpets. Collector limpet, collector limpet, collector limpet. Collector limpet, collector limpet, collector limpet. Now, military compartment. What are we putting in the military spot? Four. So the 4s get prospector, collector, collector. Yeah. A collector. Surprised nobody got me. I was carrying an interdictor. What am I doing here? Prospector. Oh my god, shipbuilding is almost mind-numbing sometimes. So much. Prospector, collector, collector. So now we're gonna get 3A collectors, 5A collectors, 1, 2, 3. 2 3As, 1 3A prospector. And just a 2A refinery. Refinery, a 2A refinery. Muffin, in my experience with cats, that doesn't motivate them to leave. Put that HRP back on. Boy, that hurt my jump range. It's alright, I got a 6A fuel scoop now. But 32 light years, oof. You can't use their little furry butts and tails to work with there. Maybe I should take some of these other guns off. I mean, this 20-ton beam laser isn't helping my jump range. We won't need it on the mining trip. Let's see what happens if I store it. We go from 32 light years to what? What's my new jump range gonna be without a huge beam laser? I get another 1 light year out of that. I almost would rather have a laser. Yeah, I'm gonna put that back on. That way, just in case. I got one beam and one multi-cannon. I got some heal beams, too. Wow. That is a joke. 250 million to buy. Holy cow. Okay. Okie doke. We did it. Did I get these? These are only grade 3 oh. Dear. Deary, deary, deary. What's my FSD? Hopefully my FSD is at least grade 5 on this thing. Okay. I'm gonna do the thrusters a little more.
Landing restraints lifted.
I deserve better than grade 3 dirty thrusters. 600 million in stored fuel scoops, Muffin. That's delightful. That's just the fuel scoops, Matt. She likes to scoop. Can you blame her? The lady likes to scoop. Matt, what you're going to find is you're going to very quickly experience a exponential growth in your assets and in your wealth. Once you can afford your own mining rig, you're very quickly going to start racking up the money. It takes a pretty short period of time to get over that hump. Well, it's exponential, right? You get a platform that earns you this much money. You do that enough, you get enough money to get a platform that earns you this much money. You do that a couple times, now you get a platform that earns you this much money, and now you're a rich motherfucker. It just takes a couple steps. Can't believe I never engineered the thrusters on this Anaconda above grade 3. I think I just didn't have the mats at the time, and then I got distracted, and then I forgot about doing it altogether. Whatever. You can synthesize AFMU ammo. Yeah, you can synthesize AFMU ammo. It's a good thing to learn there. Alright, I'm headed back to Steph too. Oh jeez, Killa, that's scary, dude. 50% FSD. At least you discovered that before you did something foolish like calling the hull seals or something. That's okay. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out, Muffin. Say hi to Cuppy and all the others for me. Oop, overshooting. You distracted me again, Muffin. Cheers. See you later. Okie doke. Stepped away for a minute. What did you miss? What did you miss? No, not a whole lot. I built my Anaconda up for mining. Now I'm going to switch over to my Asp so I can ship my Annie down to Shirodo. And that might conclude my stream for the day. We'll see. Maybe do a bit of CQC if the queue doesn't die. Muffin went to her friend Cupcake's stream. Yep. What are you up to today, Nomad?
Landing permitted. Cleared for landing on docking bay 2-5.
It's okay. Who cares about that stuff anyway? We've got a new face in Steph. I am so far away from having a cutter.
Warning. Observe minimum clearance distance.
Was I parked under your landing spot? Dude, Nomad, I'm always happy for an excuse to stay home. Where I live, it never snows. I never have a weather-based reason to stay home. It just doesn't happen here. Yeah, I hear the cutter is just pure drift all the time.
Landing successful. Clear to disembark. Report to station services for more information, Commander.
Oh boy. Oh shit, I realized I forgot my second cup of coffee. Blazing hot still. Blazing hot. So, I think I covered my 3 stream science news articles of the day. There's the quantum chip one. It's one that I have a hard time wrapping my head around. Quantum qubits. I understand the concept of how a qubit functions, what it does in comparison to a bit. But what I don't understand is what is actually happening there. Like when I'm trying to pay attention to, trying to figure out what they're actually saying is physically happening. Let's read. So, writing in the journal Nature Communications, the scientist, Zurak, and his colleagues described configuring a quantum device in silicon to test the stability of electrons in artificial atoms. So, in qubits, they use the electrons in orbit around an atom as a way of measuring your result, of storing your data. They applied voltage to the silicon via a metal surface gate electrode to attract spare electrons from the silicon to form the quantum dot, an infinitesimally small space of only around 10 nanometers in diameter. Quote, as we slowly increased the voltage, we would draw in new electrons one after another to form an artificial atom in our quantum dot, said Andrei Saravia. Quote, in a real atom, you have a positive charge in the middle, being the nucleus, and then the negatively charged electrons are held around it in three-dimensional orbits. In our case, rather than the positive nucleus, the positive charge comes from the gate electrode, which is separated from the silicon by an insulating barrier of silicon oxide. Then the electrons are suspended underneath it, each orbiting around the center of the quantum dot, but rather than forming a sphere, they're arranged flat, in a disk. That's fucking neat. The researchers were interested in what happened when an extra electron began to populate a new outer shell, and that's where comparisons to the periodic table came in. So in chemistry, the elements with just one electron in their outer shells include hydrogen and the metals lithium, sodium, and potassium. That's why lithium, sodium, and potassium are so energetic. They're so ready to bond with anything. You drop a chunk of potassium into water, and that one spare electron in that outer shell is going to instantly bond violently with everything that it touches. That's why it fucking blows up when it touches water. Any kind of moisture, because hydrogen and oxygen are both highly energetic as well. So, quote again, in chemistry, quote, when we create the equivalent of hydrogen, lithium, and sodium in the quantum dot, we are basically able to use that lone electron on the outer shell as a qubit. Up until now, imperfections in silicon devices at the atomic level have disrupted the way qubits behave, leading to unreliable operation and errors. But it seems like the extra electron in the inner shells act like a primer on the imperfect surface of the quantum dot, smoothing things out and giving stability to the electron in the outer shell. Fucking neat. And that's a crucial step towards silicon-based quantum computers becoming a reality, says Zurak, because the spin of an electron is used to encode the value of the qubit. So they're saying left or right-hand spin. Spin is a quantum mechanical property, he says. An electron acts like a tiny magnet, and depending on which way it spins, its north pole, it can either point down or up, corresponding to a 1 or a 0. So when the electrons in either a real or an artificial atom form a complete shell, they align their poles in opposite directions, so that the total spin of the system is 0, making them useless as a qubit. But when we add more electrons to start a new shell, this extra electron has a spin that we can now use as a qubit again. This is really important because it means we can now work with much less fragile qubits. 1 electron is a very fragile thing. However, an artificial atom with 5 electrons or 13 electrons is much more robust. That's actually, I think I get it now, and that's really freaking cool. Basically, in quantum computing, if you want to have a qubit, which again is our quantum version of a bit is either on or off, a qubit is on or off, or both. Highly simplifying quantum computing there, but the physics of it are challenging. You need to use an electron to work as your qubit, but it's so unstable, it's so fragile. How do you keep that in place? So, creating a quantum dot, building a 2-dimensional version of a real atom, just so you can have a stable inner field orbit, to support your single qubit on your external orbit. I mean, that's friggin' cool. That is neat. And I still don't understand much about quantum computing. I understand some about quantum physics, quantum mechanics. I like to read about that kind of stuff. But when it comes to actually using that as a reliable method of computing, it's amazing. Yeah, it's over my head too, Killa. I mean, I like to try to cram it into my brain, but I think a lot of it I can't comprehend it. I mean, it's kind of in the nature of quantum mechanics, anyways, that it's difficult to comprehend. Anyway, yeah, that is a really, really freaking cool thing. I completed an achievement on Twitch. What is this? What is that? Like clockwork? Oh, that's the one I got. Streamed for 25 unique days in the last 30 days. Man, achievements have really changed the way that we do everything. Now that we can just get achievements for it. So maybe I should do that. I'm trying to think of more established segments to be doing on the stream, because I really enjoy this. I'm having a lot of fun, and I want to make it something that's a little more structured. That'll be hard, but I think it could be fun to have, say, like I said, we'll have a guest spot, the guest nerd of the week, where I'll invite that guest nerd in via Skype call, or maybe they'll sit here next to me, I don't know. Guest nerd, we could interview, we could open up the chat to discussion, and then I was thinking we could do like a logical fallacy corner. We could discuss or illustrate some logical fallacy that's commonly done. And of course all the regular stream signs that I'm peppering throughout it. Because honestly, when you look at the market, just in Elite Dangerous streaming, you look at who's doing it right now, I'm not gonna be able to do what Exegius does better than what Exegius does. I'm not able to do what Malik VR. I can't do what Malik does better than what Malik does. I'm not pretty enough to do what some of those other streamers doing. So I'm gonna find my niche. And I think it might be in the way of fun, engaging, like educational content. Edutainment is the word of the way. Being an edutainer would actually be a really fun job, if I could find some way to do it for a living. Look at the kitties. So I wonder if the next 4 weeks of me being pledged to Aisling Duval is going to have any interesting situations. Black Widow. Who's a Black Widow? Where, right behind me?
Imperial speed restrictions are in operation. Please comply.
I don't care about shields. Shields are overrated. Oh, the cat, yeah. He's actually a tuxedo cat. My wife wanted a fully black cat.
Moved up safely.
But
Disembark when ready.
alright, Python made it. Costs 11 million credits just to ship this sucker. That's alright. I'll make it back. I'll probably do a bit of mining ahead of the expedition this week just to kind of start picking some spots out.
For the benefit of all guests to this facility,
Oh, shoot.
from obstructing access to documents.
Hang on a minute. Refinery. So I don't have my pulse wave analyzer. Man, I gotta ship some modules too. I'll do that another time. Alright folks, this is actually a lovely spot for me to end my stream for the day. Nailing it about 2 hours exactly. I had a lovely time as always. Nomad, you're a freaking star. Thanks for gifting everybody subs today. Thanks for making me do a bunch of push-ups, everyone. Actually, and we'll remember I owe 6. I owe 6 for the tally for next stream. Remember that. 6 push-ups. So yeah, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hanging out. Be positive, be helpful. Love each other. See you guys later. Take care.